What's up, everybody? This is A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing Chiron in the second house in the natal birth chart. But first, we're going to break down what Chiron is and what Chiron is all about. So, now Chiron is not a planet, nor is it a sign. Chiron is an asteroid. So, now in ancient mythology, Chiron was known to be the wounded healer. He was able to heal people from traumatic events, crises, and real full blown trauma that they dealt with in their life. But for some reason, Chiron was unable to heal his own self from his own deep rooted wounds. Chiron went through a rough life, a rough time, went through so many storms, trials, and tribulations. A lot of things went on in Chiron's life. And some things affected him to the point where he could just not seem to come to grips, come to terms to be able to heal himself from his own wounds, even though he was just miraculous, great healer to other people. So now what Chiron is going to do as far as in your natal birth chart, Chiron is going to place it in a sign and place it in the house. And then what's going to happen is this is going to be your wound that you struggle with, that carries on with you throughout your life until you come to terms and fully tackle it on head on and deal with whatever trauma that you went through, whatever crises that you've been through. Once you come to terms with that and heal yourself from it, this is going to be the area of your life that you can be able to heal somebody else in a beautiful way. And that's a beautiful thing, even though you have to deal with crisis and trauma. Okay? Everybody deals with it. Everybody has a Chiron placement in a sign, and everybody has a Chiron placement in a house. So everybody's going to be affected in some kind of shape, form, in one way or another. Okay, but the beautiful thing about it is that you are going to be able to heal yourself from it and heal somebody else to the core that's going through similar issues that you went through. So the second house in the natal birth chart is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus. So the second house is a survival house. It's the house that you go into survival mode when you are fighting for your basic survival needs and things that you feel like you want. Okay, so the second house has to do with luxury, value, possessions. People can also be possessions to you. You things that you own accumulate. Okay, and the way that you spend your money. You could be reckless, or you don't have to be reckless. But this is all seen by the second house. The second house, like I said, is ruled by Venus, and Venus is about peace, love, and harmony, tranquility. But it also has to do with luxury and wanting to live that lavish life, also the glitz and the glam. All of this is associated with Venus. Venus does show you your love nature and the way that you want to be loved. So now Taurus sign in general is a very stable stability. It's a very stable sign. They want solid ground and a firm foundation. They are go-getters, even though they do move in a slow way. It is slow for them to come to a decision, to make a decision, but once they made it, they got it. Okay, so it does take them a little bit longer than other people because they want to be sure. But the second house does represent your money and the way that you're going to accumulate wealth. So we're going to jump into this right now. Chiron in the second house, men and women. So now these men and women do have a deep-rooted wound that stems from a lack of self-worth and self-value. You may feel like who you are as a person just isn't enough. They can't seem to find worth in themselves, and this may make it even difficult to have a strong, healthy value system. Early childhood, this could have been seen by a parent placing more value into something other than the Chiron in the second house, men and women. The person often, they put money and possessions in the forefront. Okay, so now as a child, you could have felt like your parents were putting more value into something else, spending more time on other things than on you. You could have felt like you were being abandoned. You could have felt like you was being neglected, and they wasn't just showing up in that kind of way. Maybe they were into church and just doing more things over there. Maybe they were more into their relationships. Maybe they were just more into just hanging out and having a good time. Okay, whatever it was seen and perceived by the child that the parents were not showing the attention, and because of this, they have a deep wound that is surrounded and centered around their self worth, their self love, and their self esteem. Okay? So now these men and women can also have issues around money and possessions. With this placement in general, growing up in a home where scraping and scrapping, okay, just one of your parents could have been hoarders, okay? They could have just always had a lot of things that they did not want to let go of, a lot of possessions. They could have just put things on top of things. You know what a hoarder is, okay? They just have a whole bunch of shit that they just do not need. And they just keep on piling it up, keep on piling it up. When some of the things you need to just push the fuck out, okay? Because you've seen things like that, you're definitely gonna find it hard to let go of possessions and things. Whenever you receive something, you will also probably do the same exact kind of things, because this is what you're prone to already knowing and seeing. Okay, now you can also be a little bit selfish. Okay, with what you have and what you own. You might not want to let go of any possessions, any thing. A lot of material things are going to be valuable to you, and it can be just as simple as your couch, your chairs. It could be your car. It could be your bedroom set. Anything that you seem to just have value to, it is really much focused on the material things of this world. Okay, now these men and women may continue to feel an insisting void of lack within themselves that can't seem to be fulfilled by other possessions. Real value and worth comes from self acceptance and appreciation, not from possessions and material resources. So these men and women do need to come to the understanding and the realization that you don't have to look towards things for your self worth. Anything that you are looking for is inside of you, it's not outside of you. Okay? You need to really just love on yourself more. You need to really just embrace who you are, even though we know that this was a wound, that you felt like you was neglected, you felt like you didn't get the attention that you needed, you felt like your self esteem was shot and broken down to the fucking core. Okay? But the good news about this is that all you have to do is go with inside yourself and stop going outside of yourself. And that's the biggest problem in this world. I tend to see, and I'm sure several people tend to see it too. People go outside themselves looking for validation. They go outside themselves looking for acceptance. When all you need to do is go inside yourself, and you will be fucking fulfilled. Because a lot of times, you want to know what happens when you go outside yourself? You come up short and you come up empty every fucking time. So go inside yourself. All right? Moving back to the Chiron and the second house men and women. These men and women need to be cautious of overeating and undereating. You can do either or when feeling low and depressed, okay? So now you need to balance out that energy so that you don't overeat and that you don't undereat, okay? Find that balance, okay? I know when times get rough and times get tough, a lot of times people do resort to doing different kinds of things, but this is one of your struggles that you can definitely do, okay? So just try to work on that. Okay, you understand the pain of having low self esteem and low self worth and low self value. You learn that material possessions will not fulfill that void. Okay, so you do come to the realization that material items, possessions, do not hold weight, does not hold value. This is something that you need to let go, because even in your partnerships, you can also feel like if you are not being a provider, if you're not stepping up in the way that you want to step up, you could feel like This is fucked up. You could just really beat yourself the fuck down for not being able to do what you were set out to do. Okay, so don't put the blame on yourself. Try to be a little bit more gentle on yourself. Okay, nobody's perfect. Things happen. You see what I'm saying? And just look at it in that light. You can heal someone who has been through similar trauma. Okay, Chiron in the second house. Men and women really need to learn self love, love yourself, because you are worth it and you are worthy of love. These men and women need to know that they are worthy of love. They are worthy to be giving, nurturing, providers, and they really need somebody to give them this back in return. People might look at these people and might talk about them because they feel like they could have did more, they could have did better, and things like that. But what they might not even understand is that these men and women already struggle with inside themselves on who that they are, as far as on an emotional level. Okay, they want that fucking self-esteem, they want that confidence, they want that courage. Okay, and it's not that these men and women cannot be these things, because they definitely can. Okay, this is going to be the area that you can heal yourself from. Okay, you just need to go inside yourself and stop going outside of yourself. All the answers are inside of you, period. And that goes for anybody in this fucking world. Okay, them answers ain't outside of you, they inside of you. You need to get in touch with you. Fuck the outside shit, it's the inside shit. Okay, and this is what these men and women need to do. Okay, they can feel like they are unworthy of love. Okay, that is awful. Okay, to fucking even feel that way. All right, I have things in my placement that does stem and say similar things like this. So that is an awful fucking feeling. Feeling like that, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like anything that you do out in this world or you set out to do is just not enough. Right. So you need to go with inside yourself. Okay. And you will have the answers inside of you. So I'm gonna leave this on this note for now, and in future videos to come, I will go into more depth into this placement. Please be sure to check out my online store. It is Grimy Gear at www.grimygear.com. If you need a caterer, be sure to hit me up. I am the chef goddess also. And you can hit me up at Supreme Royale Catering at gmail.com. And if you would like my husband to do any work to your home, swimming pool, or business, you can hit him up at AronNesbitt90 at gmail.com. He does an amazing job. His business is Steve's Handy Helpers. So now, if anybody needs a birth chart reading, if you need me to analyze it so you can fully understand and grasp, hit me up, okay? And it will be $50. If you need a synastry chart, a composite chart, it will be $70. And if you need a tarot card reading on love and relationships, your health, spirituality, finances, or even careers, that will be $30 individually. So, this has been a Force of Nature, spiritual awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.